we were curious as we were coming in today about the other offenses you've played in on top of what you've done at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Could you let us know what other offenses you've been in? Like even dating back to high school.
Yep.
And all that stuff.
So I played in the wing T for 3 years. So I was in a huddle every play, took a snap under center every play for 3 years. Went to Corner Canyon High School for my senior year, and that was more spread. Went to USC my first year where I played in the air raid. And then my sophomore year, transferred to Ole Miss. Got introduced to the RPO game, hardcore play action, deep shots, top-down reads. And then really from each year we just progressed more and more. You know, me and Coach Weiss and Kiffin would talk about how we're a tempo pro-style team. So quite honestly, I feel like I've kind of done it all.
There's a lazy narrative out there that it's a one-read kind of
It
offense.
is a very lazy narrative, yeah.
No doubt. You watch the film and you see that that's not the case. But if you can explain to everyone why that isn't the case and why that is kind of a narrative that is obsolete.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people will initially just compare me to Matt Corral, obviously because of the Ole Miss connection. However, we had two different offense coordinators. He had Coach Levy, who coached in the Brile system. I have Coach Weiss, and their philosophies are very different. So I think, like you said, I think there's a misconception about Ole Miss's offense and all that's required for the quarterback position. And I think that once people will really just take the time, and I think the more NFL people I've talked to, they've understood it more too. The more tape that they've watched, with all that's on top of the quarterback's shoulders, we get in multiple different personnel groupings, do a lot of shifts, motions. Play actions, soft show actions, drop back, full field progression passes, mixed in a few RPOs here and there. We didn't do a ton of it this past year. Got into a lot of empty sets, 1 high, 2 high reads, man zone reads. So, I mean, there's a lot involved in our offense for sure.
Is that the offense that you love the best? Is that the one that you just jive with the best?
I feel like this year was a lot of fun. Felt like from the 20 to 20, obviously we struggled in the red zone. But, in the open field, I felt that we were the best offense in the country. So, I think we led like something in explosive passes. So that was, I had a ton of fun out there playing with the guys and throwing explosive plays. And, I felt like the offense really catered to my skill set, especially this past year.
The system isn't maybe the most normal NFL type, but how is being with Lane prepared you for the NFL in other ways?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting comment. Honestly, because the concepts that I'm running here are the same concepts that I ran in college. And at the same time, Coach Kiffin coached in the NFL, so he was the NFL head coach. So he runs, an NFL system. And then Coach Weiss also coached in the NFL with his dad being an offense coordinator and winning Super Bowls for the Patriots. So, like I said, I just think there's a misconception. The stuff that we're running here, it's the same concepts, just a little bit more wordy.
I cover the Raiders for the Review Journal, and Jaxson Powers-Johnson, young lineman, campaigning for you a little bit. What were your thoughts about maybe reuniting with Jaxson?
I would love that. That's my boy. Obviously people know us as his high school teammates, and he was my center, and he's such a hell of a talent. Every year I was trying to get him out of Oregon and have him come play with me, but it'd be amazing. And with it also being close to home, it'd be a great opportunity.
Have you talked to the Raiders yet?
I'm going to keep that between my meetings. I appreciate it.
Can you talk about, you just mentioned how Lane Kiffin really helped you on the field. Can you tell me a little bit about what he's done off the field to help you?
Yeah, absolutely. He's gone through so much in his life, and he's really shed a lot of wisdom to me, him overcoming things. I think like today's his anniversary for sobriety. So congratulations to him. But, I've learned so much from him, and honestly, I learned more off the field than I did from him, just, maturing into the person I am today.
What do you think the most underrated part of your game is?
Well, I think that people just say that, like, oh, he plays in a system. I mean, I've seen a few comments about that, which I don't get it. But I feel like I can run and play in any offense. I've had success everywhere that I've been, and I don't think that has anything to do with things I can or can't do. It's just that I'm adaptable and I can make things happen in whatever offense that I play in.
Jaxson, there's so many polarizing opinions of you. How do you keep yourself even committed?
Yeah, I just think that I'm somebody who's process driven. The opinions of others, and the noise doesn't really affect me. I've had a goal since I was a little kid, and that's something that I just stick to day in and day out, regardless of what people have to say.
Jaxson, is there a player that you compare your game to, or you pattern your game after a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 guys that really have had probably some of the biggest influence on me, just the way that I watch them play and what I've been drawn to. And I think I can draw some comparisons. I love what Jalen Hurts does. I love what Josh Allen does, and I love what Baker Mayfield does. Those are 3 guys that I love to watch, and I love how much passion they play the game with.
How do you and Trey complement each other and help each other get to the next level?
Trey Harris? Yeah, I mean, we've been just going through these past 2 years. He's somebody that I can look to off the field as being my best friend, and then, when it comes to football time, we think the exact same way. The way that we come to work every single day, with consistency and discipline in our preparation, we just go out there and push each other each and every day, and we're actually training with each other in California, so it's been fun to go through this process with him, and he's looking great. So I think us just pushing each other and wanting the best for one another to succeed.
Jaxson, Jim Nagy the other day was saying that you kind of been throwing routes on air, and that he wanted to see you throwing into some tighter windows. So just curious, is that something that that you feel like is the next level in your game, or will you be able to do that the way you need to at the pro level?
Well, I think it's just natural that when you play in the NFL that the windows are going to get tighter because of the competition. I thought today it went very smooth. I felt like I operated the things that I was asked to do. But yeah, I mean, that's just going to be a transition to any level that you get to. Things are going to get harder, and it's just an adjustment. So you got to keep working at it, and like I said, the windows are going to get tighter the better levels that you get.
The other day, Jalen Milroe talked about the work that needs to be done in the dark when no one's watching. When it comes like leadership and preparation, what does that look like for you?
I mean, it's every day. You got to rally a group of guys together and hold a standard for one another. I think when they see it from you every day, I think at times it will be contagious, but at the same time, there's some out there where you got to push and kind of got to drag along with you, even if they don't really love it initially. But that's just part of being a leader. Like, you got to raise the bar for everybody around you. As a quarterback, if you want to be successful, you got to have those pieces around you. You got to have everybody bought in. So it's extremely important to go through those dark days and those dark hours where nobody's watching and really build each other up.
All right, guys, one last question.
Jaxson, you've had a relationship with Jalen Milroe for a while. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I think me and him have just known each other for a while, just like through social media. Got the first chance to meet face-to-face in the Manning camp, and grew a connection from there. And then really how I see it, like, quarterbacks only get what quarterbacks get. And, I think we both had a lot of success this year, and then we also had some adverse situations. And, I think at those times, like, we were there for each other in both of them. I think that says a lot about the connection that we've built through our time. And, it's been a lot of fun to have them, on the same team here, and us being able to go and learn through the offense and then go out there and compete at the same time.